A small town's justice. Ken Rex McElroy, the bully of Skidmore, Missouri. What do you think of when someone says a small town in the heartland? I know what I think of. I think of, fields of hay, quaint, charming, just basically country living. I don't think of anything major. Well, this is about a small town in the heartland that has little to no resemblance to what you might think. Welcome to Skidmore, Nodaway County, Missouri, a small town and county in the Midwest with a very, very dark history. Now, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing Nodaway correctly, and I apologize if I'm not, but I will be pronouncing that Nodaway throughout this video. Both Skidmore and Nodaway County have an unsavory dark history with murders and events that are truly horrifying. Nodaway County sits in the state of Missouri, the Show Me State. Nodaway was incorporated in 1845 and was on the frontier in its earliest days and has a long history of violence, almost to the start of the incorporation. Here are a few of the most heinous. In 1880, the Talbot brothers were both hanged for slaying their father. This was despite the fact that the victim, the Talbot's father, swore with his dying breath that his political enemies were to blame. One of the most grisly murders in Nodaway County was committed by Hez Roscoe, a farmer's son, who was hanged on March 26, 1912 for the murder of Oda Hubble and his family. Roscoe and Hubble took part in an all-night poker game in a boxcar at the Barnard Depot. Hubble returned to his family on the morning of November 20th, 1910. The next day, Hubble and his family were found dead. Hubble had been killed with a shotgun, and Mrs. Hubble was beaten to death with the shotgun butt. After killing the children, the murderer, Hez Roscoe, set fire to the Hubble home. That's pretty damn grisly. I don't know. What do you think? Leave a comment below. What do you think about that? On October 10th, 1972, 15-year-old Benedict Benny Kemper cut the telephone lines to the Merrigan family's house. He sneaked into the basement and waited for the family to go to sleep. When the family was asleep, Kemper went upstairs and went from bedroom to bedroom, murdering 4 of 5 members of the Merrigan family using a 22 bolt action rifle. In 1973, Kemper was sentenced to 4 consecutive 45-year sentences for murder. Unfortunately, there are so many more crimes that have occurred in Nodaway. We'll leave a link below if you're interested in Nodaway County's history. Onward to Skidmore. On the surface, you wouldn't think much about the small town of Skidmore, Missouri. Viewing it today, it looks like a town that is disappearing, literally. With a population a little bit over 25 people and buildings that are in disrepair. With that said, Skidmore also has a grisly dark history, from murder to missing persons. We'll be exploring the bully of Skidmore, Ken Rex McElroy, of whom there are several documentaries and movies created. This is McElroy's story. Sit back and grab a bag of some popcorn. And if you like to partake in spirits, go ahead and grab yourself a cocktail, a brewski, or whatever beverage you would like to consume. Ken Rex McElroy was born in June of 1934. He was born the 15th of 16 children raised by a poor migrant family couple named Tony and Mabel McElroy. Rex dropped out of school at the age of 15 in the 8th grade and established a reputation as a thief, womanizer, and a cattle rustler. For more than 20 years, McElroy was suspected of many crimes to include theft of grain, gasoline, alcohol, and livestock. McElroy avoided conviction when charges were brought against him 21 times. How does it happen, you may wonder? The witnesses refused to testify, as McElroy would intimidate them. He would follow the witnesses or park outside of their homes. He would sit there literally watching them with probably binoculars. McElroy fathered at least 10 children with different women. He met his last wife, Trina McLeod, when she was 12 years old. He statutorily raped McLeod repeatedly, also burning her house down and shooting the family dog before her parents relented and agreed to their marriage. She became pregnant when she was 14, dropped out of school in the 9th grade, and went to live with McElroy and his third wife, Alice. McElroy divorced Alice and married Trina to escape the charges of statutory rape. 16 days after Trina gave birth, she fled to her mother's and stepfather's house. McElroy was able to track them down and brought them back to his home. McElroy had no shame. Okay, you know what? Wait, that's just too nice. He was an absolute scumbag who deserved to be behind bars for the rest of his life just for, well, not just for everything that he did. Scumbag. Piece of crap. Although McElroy was suspected of other multiple crimes, he managed to escape conviction on all but one charge. As you probably guessed, he held a stronghold over anyone who dared to press charges, with the aid of his accomplished lawyer, Richard McFadden, who was exceptional at getting McElroy off. And that kind of didn't sound right, but you know what I mean. Rewind, you'll understand what I'm talking about. There were rumors that spread throughout the town that McFadden, his lawyer, was a mob lawyer. Gotta love these rumors of a small town. McElroy was also able to intimidate law enforcement officers. He managed to cause a part-time marshal, David Dunbar, to resign by pointing a shotgun at him and saying, "I'll kill anyone who tries to put me in jail." Dunbar reported the encounter to the Nodaway County Sheriff, who said, "There's nothing we can do." Dunbar quit the very next day. McElroy's first shooting victim was a local farmer, Romaine Henry, who McElroy shot twice in the stomach with a shotgun. Henry survived to testify against McElroy. However, the bully was still found not guilty. How, you may ask? He managed to find out where members of the jury lived and placed rattlesnakes in their mailboxes. I'd have pooped my damn pants if I saw a snake in my mailbox. Literally. Come on. How about you? I'd have pooped them. That's just how it goes. Yeah. The only time McElroy was convicted of a crime was when he shot a local grocery store owner, Bo Bowenkamp, in the neck. Why, you ask? That's a very good question. Bowenkamp had accused McElroy's daughter of shoplifting some candy from the grocery store. Not a big deal. The child was told to put the candy back, but Trina McElroy, the mother of the child, had a fit in the store and went home to tell her husband, Ken McElroy. McElroy began stalking the Bowenkamp family and eventually threatened Bo Bowenkamp in the back of a store with a shotgun. McElroy shot Bowenkamp during the encounter, striking him in the neck. McElroy was arrested and charged with attempted murder. Bowenkamp, who was 70 years old at the time, survived the violent attack. McElroy was convicted of second-degree assault and sentenced to 2 years in prison. He was able to appeal the conviction and was released on bond. Damn! Did he have a good lawyer or what? After being released on bond, McElroy showed up at the local bar, the D&G Tavern, carrying an M1 rifle with a bayonet attached, bragging about finishing off Bowenkamp. Although some witnesses reported him for violating the terms of his bail by carrying a weapon, McElroy's lawyer, McFadden, was able to delay the proceedings, and then McElroy was back at the D&G Tavern. As you can imagine, the citizens of the town were pissed off that McElroy was drinking instead of getting locked up. About 60 citizens of Skidmore, including the mayor and the sheriff, held a town hall meeting in the American Legion Hall directly across the street from the D&G to discuss how to handle the situation of McElroy. While the citizens of Skidmore were in the American Legion Hall, McElroy and his wife Trina were observed leaving the D&G Tavern. Well, the citizens decided to follow him outside to the street to confront him. When McElroy got into his red and white pickup truck with his wife Trina, all of a sudden, shots were fired. During the gunfire, Trina was able to get out of the truck, running for safety inside the nearby bank. McElroy, the bully of Skidmore, would not be so lucky. After the shooting, shell casings from at least 2 different guns were found at the scene. The shots fired that day had come from somewhere within the crowd of roughly 60 people. To this day, no one has been convicted of the murder. The town of Skidmore has kept the secret of who killed McElroy for nearly 41 years. So what do you think of the vigilante way that Skidmore residents took care of the bully? Don't be shy. Leave your comments below. I want to hear them, and we can discuss it. If you enjoyed this video, please like, follow, and subscribe. More true crime mysteries are around the corner.